Welcome back. How was the exhibit hall? What was your favorite part? I hope you'll drop some message in the chat box and let us know where you stopped by and give some recommendations to some of your fellow attendees. So in our previous session, we talked about what were some of the major trends in packaging going on and worldwide. And now I'm really excited to give you the first really big PSC update. So just a quick reminder for those of you who might not be familiar with the pet sustainability and our broad work around packaging. We provide a lot of different programs and tools around packaging. So we have an entire packaging part of our toolkit that I can recommend that you check it out if you have not done so. We work with collaboration with industry groups inside and outside of the pet industry. Today, we're going to be talking about our on-market program, but we also are working on future state building collaboration and leadership to move the pet industry towards recyclable, refillable, and compostable solutions. And the fifth part of our strategy is events, which brings us here today. So focusing in on market. So let's frame the question around Flex Forward a little bit. What was the problem we were trying to solve? A little bit of background. At the current moment, in North America specifically, 99% of pet food and treat bags are not recyclable. PSC estimates that is over 300 million pounds of packaging going to the landfill today, which represents over $1 billion of the pet food proportion of the US flexible packaging market annually. This is a huge problem. So a little over 2 years ago, the program Flex Forward was envisioned and launched. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't take a moment to thank our program sponsor, Earth Animal, and our program partner, Pet Food Experts, which none of what I'm talking about today would have been possible. Flex Forward was envisioned as a return to retail pet food and treat packaging program in which pet parents would bring packaging directly back to retailers, which would then be collected through reverse logistics through the distributor and then recycled to hopefully be made back into products that could be donated or sold back to pet parents. I won't read all of this slide to you, but if you'd like to learn more about this program, a lot of information is on our website, and it's also in a report, which I'll be showing you how to download in just a minute. But Flex Forward was envisioned with specific goals in mind. We wanted to estimate the collection quality through retailers to a return to retail program. We wanted to collect 5,000 pounds worth of packaging because that's what it was estimated that we would need to successfully get through recycling trials. We estimated this would take about 6 months. The Flex Forward pilot was originally scheduled to start collections in March of 2020. It will come as a surprise to no one on this call, though, that something else was happening around that same time frame. We were supposed to start collections in the Pacific Northwest part of the United States for two very specific reasons. First of all, that area of the US is known to have a high level of consumer interest in sustainability programs such as this. Secondly, our distribution partner, Pet Food Experts, had previous experience in a cardboard take-back program through their exact distribution center. So training for their on-the staff wouldn't be as difficult. So even though we had to delay, we were able to begin collections in August in 2020. Keep in mind, once again, it was estimated before COVID that it would take about 6 months to collect 5,000 pounds of packaging. I'm proud to announce that we completely overshot that goal. We were able to end collections in February of 2021 with over 8,000 pounds of packaging. Just to give you an idea of what that looks like, that's over 83,000 individual bags of food and treat, and took over 26 different gaylords that were required to store the collected materials. So the initial findings of the pilot were staggering. Our initial sorting crew estimated that we collected over 400 different kinds of bags from over 50 different brands. Something that people were really concerned about at the beginning of the pilot was contamination, but I was really surprised to learn that contamination was low. While large amounts of packaging collected were materials not considered recyclable from recycling methods, non-recyclable bags that we were trying to collect to begin with, the materials collected not in scope of the pilot was very low. It was estimated that we had an under 5% contamination rate. There was, however, high levels of variability in the types and size of bags collected, which really frames the problem of why these recycling streams for these kinds of materials don't exist at this time. So we moved on from there to recycling trials. In the last year, we have been exploring over 12 different chemical and mechanical recycling pilots with a huge variety of partners, some of which are on the call today. So thank you so much. I'm really pleased to report that we have achieved success in both mechanical and chemical recycling systems. And you can even see some of our pellets on our dandy little PSC sign right here. So if anyone needs any for arts and crafts, let us know. But seriously, we were astounded by the success, and thank you so much to partners such as REMA, Penn State, Dow, Nova, and dozens more for helping us with these recycling trials. So what's going to happen next? Well, this is just up to the moment news. Just last week, I'm really excited to let you know that PSC completed our feasibility study with Circular Matters. That feasibility study included a full report on all the different recycling systems and options that we tested, including financial modeling, environmental impact modeling, and we actually added something to the feasibility study part 2, which was supplier interviews. We really wanted to understand what was the state of recyclable packaging on the market today, and when recycling streams collected through pilots such as Flex Forward might be able to be incorporated with recycling streams already established, such as store take-back programs currently in use. So I can let you know how those supplier interviews went. First of all, thank you so much for everyone on the line who participated. We had over a dozen different packaging suppliers participate in interviews, so thank you so much. 100% of all of the packaging suppliers that we talked to currently offer recycle-ready packaging, which means that these technologies for established recycling streams are on the market and in use, available for the pet industry today. Those packaging suppliers estimate that 70 to 80% of all pet food and treat recycling in North America will be eligible for store take-back recycling programs by the year of 2030. So this technology is on the market today, and we expect it to be mainstream very soon. Store drop-off recycling streams for this kind of material are already available in major grocery store retailers today. Then, what is the impact of Flex Forward? We were astounded to learn that the collection rate for Flex Forward was well above national averages. Without getting into the details, we weren't able to identify a specific recycling rate, but we learned that pet parents will enthusiastically drop off their food and treat packaging into collection containers lined with plastic bags. Employees of the pet retail establishments will then empty the collection containers as they fill and store the bag packaging in a back room, which then would be collected by distributors through reverse logistics. The distributors would then bag the pet food, bail them, and then PSC can connect with distribution centers to recycling markets. The possible impact of such an expansion of Flex Forward is astounding. Even at current store take-back recycling rates, this program could collect over 400 pounds of packaging or 3,200 bags from independent retailers annually, and even more at large pet retailer. There's a strong possibility that collection would greatly outpace current collection rates. If so, those numbers could be even higher, which would lead to 4.5 million pounds of pet food and treat packaging annually from participation from independent and specialty pet retail. There are longer-term solutions to be considered as well. We, as a coalition and as an industry, must move towards monomaterial pet food packaging. Shifting the pet industry towards a single type of material would allow packaging to be widely accepted both through Flex Forward pilot recycling streams as well as existing store drop-off programs that exist outside of pet. This would also increase the value of collected materials and drive financial markets. These materials are already offered today, as I mentioned, at the pet industry. And tonight, I hope you will join us at our annual packaging soiree, where you can learn about the Pet Sustainability Coalition's packaging pledge program aimed at advancing sustainable solutions in the pet industry. So what does that mean for Flex Forward? Well, right now, as I mentioned, this report just came in last week. The PSC and our partner teams are actively evaluating costs, reviewing with each other determining next steps for expansion, and determining next steps. At the same time, mechanical recycling testing is still going on to determine what these kinds of pellets could be used for. And we're evaluating programs to collect recycled packaging on the market today while moving the industry towards recyclable, refillable, and compostable solutions. If you'd like to learn more about the future of the Flex Forward program, I'm really going to encourage you to get in touch with PSC's plastics team and download the Flex Forward Phase 1 report that outlines significant detailed data about collections, retailer, consumer feedback, and the recycling trials. So thank you so much for your support of the Flex Forward program, and we're so excited to where this program can go together.